awesome person you. Thank you for taking the time to watch me as I practice making videos and also get better at drawing and just letting my creative juices flowing. Speaking of juices flowing, I've got my tea in this cute Grogu mug provided by my wonderful partner, and I am drinking some old Lipton tea. Don't know how old it is, but it's there. Now to the subject at hand. Self-care is a term that has become popular in most recent years, but is still kind of a mystery for me, mostly because I don't know what it means to me. Everybody is different, and I can't figure out exactly what it is I like to do that is my self-care. For the majority of my work life, I had 2 part-time jobs, so that left me, like most of us, overworked and underpaid and stuck in this cycle of work, cry, sleep, stress, work, cry again, work again. You get it. So a couple of years ago I said enough's enough, and I broke that cycle. I went down to 1 job, and I was still kind of bouncing a little bit on that. I had a few trial jobs and sales and then temp work, and finally I'd been offered a good job. Once I had that good job, I tried to prioritize my life, and then I got pregnant. Pregnant? And then I ended up on the night shift, 3rd shift life. It was fun, but it was also a regular amount of stress. Then after having the baby, postpartum took a toll, and I needed to transfer to something that was more manageable. And currently, where I work, I love it. It's not perfect, there's still some hang-ups, so there's still a need to find ways to de-stress, which has become more difficult as a first-time mom, because not only was I responsible for myself before, maybe a cat and a dog, but now I'm responsible for another human life. And the problem with this one is it does not know how to communicate. At least the dog will punch me or at least boot my hand with her nose when she needs something, like go outside. Or the cats will just try to trip me and meow when they want to eat. But the tiny human just cried, so that was a huge thing, trying to figure each other out and figure out how to communicate. So back to self-care, I thought maybe since I loved reading when I was younger, I could get away with reading, especially with my current occupation. I can get a book and go to town. But then there was a problem with when would I clean the house, and I'm sure a lot of us identify with that. If we're sitting and reading, nothing's getting done. I'm even struggling doing this. I could be doing laundry now instead of talking to you wonderful people and drawing. And then, sometimes I was like, oh, maybe I'll just light a candle when I get home, get the nice smell going and a little bit of warmth and light. But then, with little kids, they want to touch everything, and Diana has touched a candle with her fingers, and no serious burns, thank goodness. And sometimes even the cats get in on it, like Elysia's burned a few whiskers. Cue some purring from Elysia. This brings me to drawing. Drawing and other art is always a work in progress, and some people like what I draw. Some of you know Miss Fancy Bones from my Instagram, and after I drew that, I had 2 more drawing ideas, so I was like, why not make a series out of them? And this drawing is one of the ideas that popped in my head. The other one is still percolating, so y'all will have to wait. I know you can. And here we have Fancy soaking her bones, reading with her ducky, and drinking all the wine she can in a bubble bath. Because when you are dead, you are fortunate enough to not have to worry about liver problems. Good for you, girl. But seriously, though, why you hogging up all the stress relief, Fancy? Leave some for the living. I find her lack of life ironically comical, because when you're dead, you don't have to get stuck in the trappings of life, and that gets you locked in the sad places of your brain. Now, please don't get me wrong. I have a lot of living left to do, so I'm not planning on leaving all of you. I'm just getting started. Don't worry, my little friends. Well, actually, I'm the little one, so don't worry, my big friends. But for now, I think me and Fancy are gonna go rest now that this is no longer bouncing around in my head and keeping me up at night. Thank you and love you.